Rake is currently the second best Spiritborn and overall build of Diablo 4 Season 9 so far. Because of the high demand of Unix of the Balazan setup, many people of you have some serious problems to stay alive with this build. I want to show you today how you can face tank pit bosses even in pit 105. And I also want to show you which ring you should take, Starless Guys or Wound Drinker. So make sure to watch the video till the end so you don't miss the setup and face tanking pit 100 plus bosses. I won't go into the details of the basic setup of the build in the introduction. If you still don't know how it works, you can check out my first build guide where I will explain everything into details. Currently I have 21k life full buffed with Rake. So how did I get so much life? First of all, you need to get the Zich rune instead of the Q rune, so you will cast the Spiritborn's Concussive Stomp instead of Druid's Earthen Bulwark. You will lose 15% barrier, but you can solve that with some more barrier from gear. The main advantage, although, that you will have constantly access to Resilient now. So with Resilient, we're gonna get 5% maximum life with every skill ring. So thanks to Resilient alone, I get up to 4.5k additional life. Currently I have 6 points spent into Resilient. I have 2 from ammo, which could even go up to 3, 1 from short and 3 from skills. In addition, you also have access to Dominant that gives you a 5% chance to execute enemies that get hit the first time. In addition, I would recommend you to get a GA damage reduction loyalties medal with a triple crit, which will give you a 27% damage reduction. If you also have a GA max life on your weapon and chest armor, as also Elixir of Fortitude, you will get up to 21k life. And then you can face tank even the hardest kind in the game. If you have enough life, you can also switch from the Elixir of Fortitude to some offensive elixir. If you still have questions regarding defense and life of this build, please ask them in the comments down below. Hey guys, what's up? Angren with another Spiritborn build guide, and after the quick introduction, we want to go into details of the THORNS RAKE Balazans build. So now the first question is, which ring do you take? So you can take either Wound Drinker or Ring of Starless Guys. So the advantage of Wound Drinker is that is simply not that rare to get like a Ring of Starless Guys, because you need to have a bit of luck from the mythic bosses, or you need to farm the Runewords first to craft the Ring of Starless Guys, and you also have the Shroud of False Death that you want to use, or Ethereal Smite until you get enough of your Paragon points to switch to Shroud of False Death. So what are the advantages of Wound Drinker? Well, as I said, it is by far more common. And also it will give you thorns, it will give you vigor every time you're going to deal thorns damage, and you're going to get a GA one with thorns, and you triple crit thorns. You will have around 1000 thorns, and in addition you gain a toxic skin passive effect. So that means, as you can see, I don't have the toxin in my bar at all. You're going to get the passive 100% more poison and your thorns damage by default, and then you can slot in your Ravager. So now you're gonna have Ravager, Armored Hide, Toxic Skin, all of these skills, and counter attack, and that's the big advantage. The good thing is about the Armored Hide, you're gonna get a lot of death, you're gonna get more of your resolve stacks, so you're also gonna get more death, and you're also gonna get more vigor as more defensive skills to cast, and you're gonna get more of your thoughts. But honestly, Ring of Starless Guys is still better in maybe every aspect, because you're gonna get 50% more damage. If you're gonna do damage, you will also get 50% resource cost reduction, which is better when you have the chance to restore your primary resource with the weapon. And you're also gonna get a ton of attack speed. You also get a bit of crit chance, which is still good, because we're gonna need crit chance in order to pop our Noxis Resistance, and with 0% crit it can be kind of a bit hard at single target bosses. You're gonna get a ton of luck hit chance, which is also pretty important to trigger things like our Wildfire Cleave here with luck hit chance, also to trigger our Disintegrate that can be enhanced with luck hit chance, and it will also give you more all rest, because this will only have 30% poisonous and 80 armor, and this will have 25% all rest. I would recommend to you to use Ring Ring of Starless Skies, but Wounddrinker is fine for the beginning, and I would also recommend to you to get your Shroud of False Death first, because it's more important than Ring of Starless Skies, or get a Ethereal Smite if you still have problems with res and damage reduction and you're in kind of low Paragon reach, like 50, 100 something. Ethereal Smite is a really OP armor, and you want to switch to Shroud of False Death at around 200 to 220, because then you can fill out all of your res things with these levels that you cannot fill out until 200. So now let's gonna start with the gear. So first of all, get the Loyalty's Mantle with a GA and damage reduction, and then triple crit it. It is really important to get this as a triple crit, because as I said in the introduction, we're gonna lack heavy parts of damage reduction and life. So get this, and also get a high value of your bigger cost reduction and cooldown reduction, because this will also help your rake resources and also your hunter cooldown and your counterattack and your ravager. For the chest, as I said, get Shroud of False Death, get a GA on all stats and max life, and triple crit all stats. If you don't have Shroud of False Death, get a Ethereal Smite. If you don't have Ethereal Smite either, get a legendary chest with armor, always max life or dex, temper with some defensive things like your resilient, and then get a defensive aspect that will boost your damage reduction further. Gloves, take gloves with a GA attack speed. Also get armor on them until you have enough armor. If you have enough armor, then take dex and also get crit chance on your gloves, so you can ramp up your crit chance a little bit more. Then get a Mystic Circle Potion, C as a temper, as also vortex size, and then triple crit your Mystic Circle Potion C. And for aspect, get the aspect of Wild Claws. That means you're gonna pass an additional rake for additional damage. For pants, get the Balazans. This is our core part that you need to activate this build, and get a high value of the Unique effect, and also at least get a GA on Bastion, triple crit it, and also get a GA on Thorns. For boots, take the duelist aspects, so we're gonna get more ferocity charges, so we're gonna get more damage from our plane's power aspect, and also we're gonna get more attack speed from our Primal Spirit Hall. And also for your affixes, get dex, also armor or res, the thing you need. Just check out which things you're missing, either res or armor. If you don't miss anything of armor or res and you kept it without this affix, then get max life. And as a third affix, get movement speed, and as a tempers, get movement speed and rake size. For a weapon, get the aspect of plane's power. So this is also our unique effect that will deal heavy amounts of damage and will double dip with our Primal Spirit Hall, and with the conceded aspect, so it will deal way more damage than it should, and it also multiplies with our Fellsooth sales aspect. For a weapon type, get a quarter soft, because you're gonna attack the fastest. And for affixes, get dexterity, max life, and chance to restore primal resource, and get a GA on dexterity and max life. And for tempers, get your Primal Spirit Hall Potion C and Mystic Circle Potion C, but try to triple crit your Primal Spirit Hall Potion C. I didn't have it because I played most of the times with my Razor Wings build that equips a unique weapon. If you are interested in this build, check this out, and if you're also interested in how to farm Opticite better, check out my 2 guides for more Opticite farming. The Fire Amulet, and this is a pretty important. You want to try and get at least an amulet with a GA on dexterity, because dexterity will buff our thorns damage. In addition, if you don't have a passive ability on it, try to roll potent on it, because potent will give us so much damage. Every point of potent will give us 10% more damage against a target. So with a double crit, it is like a Ring of Starless Skies that will give you 50% more damage. So this is really important. I paid around, I think, 200 million, but even though it is really worth it. If you have already a passive on the amulet, it is even better. Get either Unrestrained Power or Apex or Nourishment as your second passive, but it is important. Get your potent at all costs. It will buffer damage so heavily and will jump up the pit tiers pretty heavily. And for tempers, and this is also pretty important, get Mystic Circle Potion C as also Resilient. Why do we get Resilient? There's a silent introduction. With Resilient, we're gonna get more max life. With the Citrone, we're gonna cast our barrier, and then we're also gonna get 30% of our barrier. We're gonna get less barrier as with the Bulwark, because the Bulwark from the Druid will give us 45%, so we need to still get some barrier generation to get up to 100%. But in my opinion, it is better choice because we will have way more life. As you can see, I currently have 15,000 life. After I casted my Siege rune and the concussive sum, I have 19,000 life, so that's a net of 4,000 more life, and that's pretty damn amazing. So that's the reason why a good amulet is so important, and that's the most wanted thing after you got a good weapon. Get a good amulet with also good tempers, and as an aspect, get a conceited aspect. The first one, get Ring of Starless Skies. If you don't have it, get Wound Ringer, and with Ring of Starless Skies, try to at least double crit your attack speed. If you then have enough, then take one crit on crit chance, otherwise get a third on your attack speed. Before your second ring, get the Fellsooth Sass aspect. It is also our resource of our vulnerable, so we're gonna vulnerable the enemy every 5 seconds if you're gonna use the incarnate skill, and we're also gonna blow up the enemy for 55% of the killing blow, which is also a lot. And for tempers, get Dex, Max Life, and attack speed, and for tempers, get Mystic Circle Potency and Hunter cooldown reduction, and triple crit your Mystic Circle Potency. Before your Horadric choose, get the one where you get 6% primary core start, Max Life and Unhindered, and also get one where you're gonna do 20% more elemental damage and take 10% more, and also get a Seal of Denial where you're gonna get more barrier, fortify, and thorns. For Runeword, get your Aho Quacks for the good combi of your more damage if you still have problems with resource. Switch this out with a more def option. Also the Tam Siege for source of our concussive storm. And for normal gems, get your amethyst until you have 100% barrier generation. After that, get Dex. Before your Horadric spellcraft, get your corrosive vapor, your bottled wind, your fractured core, and either inaugurating helix. But if you still have problems with your resource, get your reactive ooze, so you will fix the resource problems, and also get disintegrate. Now for our skill tree, take your rake as also the advantages rake for the inherent cooldown reduction. For your focus skills, get your vortex as also your unrestrained power, apex, wishman, then also your ravager with the glyph and also the toxic skin. So for your defensive skills, take at least 1 point of endurance, so we're gonna get more vigor back. Also get concussive sum from our Runeword, so it's an enhanced concussive sum, counterattack as also the enhancement, then also get max nourishment, auspicious, and passion. For potency skills, get max points in resilient and max points into potent. If a short of false death, you don't need a point in dominant. If you don't have it, take also 1 point in dominant. For the ultimate skills, take your max into resolution, primacy, and also in checkeracy, get 1 point in the other ones. And also get max in hunter as also the glyphs, and take your Noxis Resistance. For the Paragon board, I made some pretty significant changes to it. For the first board, take Kenny in it. For the second board, get your Hubris as also your spiny skin. For the third board, get Convergence as also your spirit. You will max out the Convergence with your bonus to Kenny. For the second last board, get the Wildfire. This will reduce our cooldown, and we're also going to get more fire damage as also more poison damage. And for our last board, take the Ritual Glyph as also the Sapping, which will further enhance our damage with our planes prospect. And after that, and you got the core structure of your Paragon board, try to get more things you need. So if you need more orders, fine, get more orders. If you need more max life, then get more max life first. You're gonna play with till smite until like Paragon 200, then max out your damage glyphs first and your things like hit chance. So this Paragon board is set up pretty good that you can just take the points where you want. So you have your different branches that you can go to attack speed, dodge chance, more cooldown reduction, so it is up to you which you're gonna prefer and which you're gonna need right now. And for the mercenaries, pretty simple. Get your Rahir with Crown Slam, Rahir's Aegis for your res fix and also Bastion for reinforcement. Get the Alkin with Feel of Language with your Rake. For Spirit Horse, get Sugar as your both. And for the rotation, it is pretty simple. Just hop on the target with your Hunter, and also cast your Ravager as cooldown, also cast your Vortex and your counter attack. It is pretty simple to only cast a counter attack if you are in the packs, but with the cooldown you could basically just cast this whenever it will hit off your cooldown. As you can see, I have no problems at all to get up a resource back. So this is also the reason why Rake is so good, because it is so friendly to play. I hope I could show you a really cool build guide update that will push you to the pits of like 110, 115, even 120. You're gonna have high amounts of Paragon. If you have any further questions, please ask them in the comments down below. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you won't miss ever Diablo 4 content from me again, and also follow me on Twitch and my TikTok channels. Until the next video, bye!